right, here we are. We are at Sonic Temple in Ohio. Right now, we are sitting with the badass group called Black Coffee.
Hey.
What's up, my guys? Good?
Well, 50% of the group.
50%, yeah, 50%.
The better half, if you will.
Absolutely. the more talented, gracious half.
Yeah, I would say we're definitely the more humble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you really, yeah, okay.
Well, the singer and the bass player, they're just...
Well, the singers are all divas.
Yeah, they're
they're all divas.
He's got
Completely.
Yes.
Lead singer disease.
LSD, man.
So, I gotta ask, okay, first off, let's start with the name. How did you get Black Coffee?
Well, his dad is a firefighter.
Okay.
And when we first started, the very first time we ever jammed was in his dad's basement. And for the first probably, 4 or 5 months that we were a band, that was our practice space. And so we were...
He'd be working 24 hours, so he'd be gone all night, so we'd be jamming from 1 till 4 in the morning with nobody, you know what I mean?
So we started noticing that we were going through like 3-4 pots of coffee in a practice to like keep us up. And so we went through me and Justin, of course, the two members that are here.
First question.
Right, exactly. So we go driving through Tim Hortons, and I'm like, yeah, I need 2 large coffees, black. And Justin was just like,
It was when she handed them to us, she goes, once, because admittedly, I do like cream every now and again, but our first song off our album is named Creamer, so I get a little bit of leeway there. And when she handed Tom, she goes, 1 black coffee, and I just kind of like looked at it, I was like, what about black coffee? And Tommy
named the band Black Coffee.
All right,
And then we started connecting the dots. We're like, oh shit, this is great.
Yeah. So just because of that one order, that's how it all came together.
Yeah.
So
I wish there was more to it than that, but
well, no, that's a great. No, that's great. So you went back to the studio, to practice, and you said, "Hey, what about this name?" And
well, basically, because at that point we were a 3-piece. Ehab was playing bass and singing lead vocals. So at that point, 2 of the 3 members were convinced on Black Coffee. So he more or less got outvoted. And then we added Nick, and he just came into the program.
He didn't have a choice.
He didn't have no choice on
it's
that.
Black Coffee, buddy. Sorry.
We made that decision a long time ago. Learn to like no cream.
Yeah. Now they're gonna change their name to Jack and Coke.
yeah, hey. I did say I'm not okay. Little insider information here.
Okay.
I've been trying to name one of our new songs "Shaken or Stirred" for a while, and some people like it, some people don't like it. Personally, I like "Shaken or Stirred" as a song title. Yeah, it's not bad, right?
I like it.
All right.
Oh, so okay, you guys obviously did not grow up in the 70s. Okay, you weren't even born in the 70s.
Unfortunately
I
not.
get gray hairs though. I swear to God.
Yeah, I named mine. That one's my daughter's.
Yeah,
that one's my son's. That's Heather. That's Anthony. But how did you guys become so involved with classic rock? I mean, you even dressed it. You're like new wave hippie.
So more or less, thank you first off. So more or less, what happened is most of us, grew up, me and Justin especially, grew up on 70s, 60s, 80s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, classic, like, hard rock, Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Cream, Grand Funk Railroad, that Black Sabbath, that kind of shit. And so, from that came this whole ideology of, like, man, we want to bring soul back to rock music.
Yeah.
And so the greatest bands that ever had soul, like you listen to Van Halen, like Take Your Whiskey Home.
Yeah.
Or you listen to fucking Sweet Leaf, or you listen to any Zeppelin ever. There's so much soul. There's so much powerage. There's so much feel and so much soul.
Breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have a life of their own, you know?
They have a human force behind them. So that's how we kind of got into our recording style. We record with no click track, no auto correct, no tune. It's literally, when you listen to the album, it's the 4 of us standing in a room. 3 of us when we recorded that album.
Yeah.
But more like it's all of us standing in a room creating music, like a painting, all as one. And so, I've always idolized 70s rock bands, so I've always dressed this way. Justin, when I met him when I was like 14, we immediately connected on that. And as soon as I met Ehab, we connected on that. So we almost dress this way in like like a visual homage to like the gods that make music that we listen to, you know, because like when you look at Zeppelin and Sabbath, you know, they all dress a certain way. There's a lot of differences, but you know, we try to keep, the bell bottoms and the shirts and shit.
Everything on top of that goes in cycles too, so everything's kind of coming back in its own way. You know what I mean? There's kind of like a rock revolution going on right now that, you know, I mean, obviously, like he was saying, that those decades were hugely influential to us. At the same time, you know, it's 2019. It's impossible for us not to be influenced by Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and, you know, all those bands that are like that, Nirvana. So what we it's kind of like a vintage take on modern music a little bit. It's kind of what I like to call it. And each guy gets their licks in, and you know, just kind of throw it in, and you get the freshly ground black coffee, I guess.
The caffeine buzz, if you will.
You get the caffeine buzz.
Absolutely.
It's a robust, you know, roast. You know what I mean? It's nice.
It's a dark roast.
A dark roast,
Yes.
yeah. So we're getting a wrap-up time already.
We're getting the wrap.
Oh, man.
Oh, John.
Yeah, John.
You turn pain.
If we let those hooligans, the other half of Black Coffee, get through too many interviews, that's just bad news written on it for everyone. So we got to make sure that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before you go, where can everybody get your stuff, your merch, your albums? Obviously, all the platforms, but website.
Well, unfortunately, our online store, we're having to put it on pause for a while.
Okay.
Because we're actually about to head out to LA for a couple months. We're going to be out there for about 2 months.
We're going to be making a pretty major announcement here within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Everything to do with the immediate future of Black Coffee. That'll be something that like we're kind of still figuring out. We know what it is. We're just figuring out the way to word it. Okay. So we're gonna kind of like get through this weekend. We have a show on May 31st at Muddy Creek Saloon with Jackal. And we're kind of focusing on that. And then after that, we have some big news in store for everybody. So then we'll be able to kind of paint the picture for the next 6 months of Black Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, but at this moment, Facebook, official Black Coffee, Instagram, official Black Coffee. It's like OFF_Black Coffee.
Okay.
You can find our album on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Amazon Music, anything. It's called Take One. If you look, it's a picture of 71. Was that north or south?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a
the
big.
easiest way, believe it or not, that I found to find that album is go into albums, just search Take One.
Okay.
And that's the first album title. Like I think that's the only one or two that comes up. That's the quickest way to do it.
Yeah, so if you find that, came out in 2018, but you can find all our music there, and then on YouTube you can search Black Coffee, I Barely Know Her, and that's our music video for our single that's out off the album.
Okay. All right. Yep. He's right. He's ready to get great. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you guys my card.
Thank
My
you,
man.
sir.
When you
Gladly,
then when
gladly.
you have an announcement, feel free to call Asgard and
we will.
call me, and then we'll do a phoner, and we'll get all the information out.
Phoner.
man.
I barely know her.
Boner, I barely know her. That's the
All right, guys. This is Black Coffee. Check them out. They are
Thank you,
fucking
guys.
awesome, and we'll see you here at Sonic Temple.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Oh,